and welcome along to the Sporty Show. I am Sara Pararia. Champions League is over, but we are back in here to talk about it all and preview the weekend ahead. Alongside me, it's the one and only Klinton Cod.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your boy Klinton Cod, and we are we back?
We're so back. We're so back.
Right, okay, right.
We never left.
We never left, yes, yes. And today we're going to speak more and more about football, what's happened yesterday, because a lot of rubbish did happen, actually. So, I mean, you guys know me, I would always speak it the way it is. But let me introduce to you the one and only, as usual, the tallest man in Madrid is Alex Ashmore. Alex, wagwan, man.
How you doing?
Not too bad, man.
It's the weekend?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
Well, this weekend, I am going...
Chelsea, Arsenal?
Well, apart from that, I am going a few feet above the skies, man. And
yeah, where are you going?
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere.
Oh,
that's the most important stuff, bro.
Well, enjoy your trip.
Thank you. And you enjoy yours too, if
yeah.
you happen to not miss your flight, mate.
I'll try not to.
Lovely, mate.
Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, friendly reminder to follow us on all of our socials and what's coming up today and this weekend on SportyTV. Sorry, today we have West Brom taking on Burnley, 9 p.m. WAT, 8 p.m. GMT. Tomorrow in the A-League, it's Western versus Newcastle Jet, as well as Al Hilal versus Al Ettifaq, and Al Riyadh versus Al Nasser at 6 p.m. WAT and 5 p.m. GMT. Watford's taking on Oxford as well tomorrow. Saturday sees the J-League Makita versus Tokyo, A-League Adelaide versus Western United. Saturday also sees Cardiff City taking on Blackburn, and in the Premier League, it will be West Ham taking on Everton. In the Bundesliga, Leipzig will be playing Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Rosario taking on San Lorenzo in the Argentine Primera Division. On Sunday, we have Tokyo Verde versus Vissel Kobe, Sydney versus MacArthur, Circle B versus Anderlecht, and in La Liga, it's Real Valladolid versus Athletic Club, and in the Serie A, the biggest match of the weekend on Sporty TV, in my opinion, it's Napoli taking on Internazionale. Well, speaking of Internazionale, let me welcome to the show, Gary Al Smith. Gary, it's not going to be easy today. I'm just going to warn you right now.
No internet problems today, Gary?
I wish.
I'm sure you do. Well, let's jump right in. Arsenal losing 1-0 yesterday to Inter with a penalty from Çalhanoğlu. Klinton actually called this. He posted it on his social media. A penalty for Inter to win?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what happened. And I think you guys need to be giving me as crazy accolades as possible, because I've done this not once, I've done it not twice, I've done it not 3 times, I keep doing it. Why? Because the source where I hear this scoreline prediction is real. Gary, are they real or not?
You said Brighton were going to lose to Manchester
Drink
United.
water.
And I'll
Take
never
some water. Take some water.
I'll never
Take some water.
forget that. I will never, no, we'll give you one from yesterday, but please stay humble like Arteta. Gary, what is Arteta do? What was that? Going on, I mean, he completely lost his marbles. Break it down for me, though. What are your initial thoughts of this game? How were you feeling yesterday? Because the three of us, well, we'll get into how we were feeling as we watched it all together.
I said before the show yesterday that, look, we needed to start winning and to show that, like, the season has not gone absolutely to pot, to use a very mild word, because the word I want to use, I can't use on this medium. So that the season has gone absolutely to pot, and we needed to start winning from yesterday, and the performance needed to be good. We did none of those things, and it's not looking good. You know, there are no more excuses because you have the squad capable of winning. So what is going on? I don't know. And it's sad that a team this gifted, this with that much potential, is not able to put its acts together in order to win. It's disappointing.
It really was disappointing. Alex, we were talking about that second half, which was painful to watch. I think as any football fan, Arsenal just kept trying to cross that ball into Inter's area. And it was like we were watching the same thing on repeat. Crossing the ball in, not getting a head on it, not getting a body behind it, and the ball just being cleared by Inter to then get picked up by another, Arsenal midfielder and played back down the wing. And it was the same thing over and over again. It was miserable football.
It was, and you've got to give credit to Inter. They did what they
Sure.
needed to do. They defended really well, but they defended against an attack that was stiff, lacking in a lot of movement. Giving the ball to Bukayo Saka and wishing that he does something, and then watching him isn't going to work. Bukayo Saka's a wonderful player, but you have to work with him. You have to give him options, and you see Ethan Ranieri coming on. It sparked up the attack. It gave it a little bit of light, but Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz as well, stiff, lacking in movement, lack of ideas, and for Arteta as well, constantly putting crosses into players of that height against defenders who can head that ball away every day until the cows come home. It's balmy to see the tactics, to be honest, and I think a deserved win for Inter Milan, and they came in there knowing what they had to do, and they got the job done.
Klinton, you were saying yesterday how big of a miss Odegaard has been and how these midfield players really are the engines of these football teams. We did see a cameo from Odegaard yesterday, but this is, I think, more than Odegaard at this point for Arsenal, is it not?
Well, I feel like it shouldn't be anything new for any football fan when they see that, first of all, you don't have a midfielder like Odegaard, who is literally the powerhouse. I've said it so many times that take away this man, you have nothing for Arsenal. And clearly that's exactly what's been happening for the team. Literally, I'm surprised that it was a penalty that they ended the game with. If somehow I feel like it probably could have even been more, Arsenal, they are just nothing right now without that midfield. If Arsenal want to be Arsenal, trust me, they would have to start thinking about having people like Odegaard, at least a multiple of them. If they don't do it, fact is, Arsenal, they are going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like, what's his name? Evra said, we'll continue waiting for their Netflix, basically. They will continue waiting for the next season. Sorry, but I just love that quote. It's just I just love the fact that somebody came up with that stuff, and I'm going to be taunting every single Arsenal fan. Oh. I know. Gary, I'm so sorry about that one. Gary, you guys will continue. You might probably this particular season is probably going to get to season 28. Like, it's going to be worse than Prison Break.
Oh no. Speechless.
Speechless.
Gary, when is the moment that Arsenal and Mikel Arteta will decide to go their separate ways? Because it is becoming habitual almost for Arsenal now to, look promising, make, good transfers in the summer or winter window, make the run in the league, make a decent run in Europe, and then some sort of crumble kind of happens. And I think this season right now we're seeing it a little early. And like you mentioned on yesterday's show, maybe it could be a good thing in the sense that it's happening early so that, after the new year, they can bounce back. But are you concerned about Mikel Arteta and Arsenal's relationship and if there is a future between the two?
I want to be consistent, and so this question was first asked by Alex 2 weeks ago when you were away. Mm-hmm. And I said, Alex, if you recall, that I was not sure because I hadn't made up my mind and I couldn't be sure. Why did I say that at the time? Because of the body of work Arteta has put in, how close he came to winning the Premier League, and against who he lost it to. Part of me felt it would be unfair to hack this guy who has put in this much work and there's so much potential, and it's clear that the team is going somewhere. At the start of the season, I would have said as an Arsenal fan that even if we didn't win the Premier League, didn't win the Champions League, once more, we should challenge seriously for both. And that anything less than a quarter-final in the Champions League, new format or not, will be unacceptable for me. And I still stand by it now. Now I've made up my mind that in the Premier League, we should be absolutely top 2, at worst top 3. For me to say Mikel Arteta should not leave. In the Champions League, anything less than a quarter-final, and Arteta should go. However, what I'm seeing now does not give me confidence to wait that long. We are running through heavy ground right now. Defeat in this game yesterday made it 2 wins in the last 6. Away from home, we've not scored against anyone other than Preston. That was since Gabriel's header at the Etihad. That was in late September. Is it down to bad luck? We've had some pretty horrible decisions go against us. But the fact is, this Arsenal team still has a lot of its best qualities in the games that we have lost. Something is not right with all these red cards we are getting, players losing their heads. The good thing is that the players themselves are admitting, Sarah, that it is not external forces. We have a discipline problem that has to be sorted. All right? So from the defensive power to the spirit and heart to the ease on the ball, we have it. But obviously, it seems, I'm coming to the main point, Sarah, it seems that Arsenal has plateaued. It seems that we have plateaued right now. And I think that's the problem. Arteta's job is to find new sauce, new ketchup, new ingredient, new spice, because right now we are tasting bland and we have been figured out. If it happens for a few more weeks, I'm sorry, but I'll have to start seriously saying Arteta out.
First of all, I'm just very happy to see Gary really very upset. Gary, I mean, in a very good way, though. You know, it's, wow, Gary's actually serious. Damn, Arsenal really got to his blood, you know. Chill. Gary? Gary, you know what the funny thing is? I don't know if it was, wait.
I'm not laughing at your pain, guy. I'm not laughing at your pain.
Oh, man,
Oh,
God.
no. Oh, no. Go on.
Gary, I mean, on behalf of all the football fans around the world, please, we are very sorry. Please stay away from your kids today.
Oh, my God.
Because this kind of annoyance could make you over-discipline them. You know how we do it back in Africa. He might take it to the next level. But please, listen, this is just very normal for Arsenal. I don't know why you're surprised. Or maybe it's only because at some point, Arsenal were performing and they were doing so well, and now it's like everything is going down the hill. So I would understand his frustration. Now, fact is, my problem with Gary is, why are you surprised? Like, this is Arsenal. This is Arsenal. This is what they do. This is what they've done this season in, season out. So
I think in previous seasons, though, in the last 2 seasons, they made a run for it and they held it together for much longer, which is much more difficult to do. And then you see the likes of the way their defense was playing last season, the best defense in the top 5 leagues. But for them to, you know, have that team and maybe strengthen it with bringing in someone like Mikel Arteta, but they're struggling so early on. Yes, they've been, you know, hit with injuries and they've had suspensions and whatnot. But I don't think anyone predicted that Arsenal, maybe no one said Arsenal were going to win the league. But I don't think people predicted them to be crumbling this early on. I think that's what's more difficult. You know what I mean? Like, we're not seeing this in the April, May when the usual bottling happens.
Absolutely. But then again, sometimes I feel like there are some kind of things you can't really run away from, and these are only naturals. The likes of what they got going on injury. I mean, look at Manchester City as well. You have Kevin De Bruyne, you have Rodri. I don't think anybody would think that there would be a game where you don't have Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne being on the same pitch. You know, if you have, like sometimes at least have one of them, and you would feel like, okay, maybe one of them could have some level of control, work with the other younger ones. You have the likes of Kovacic. I mean, but the problem with Arsenal is you have just that one guy who's the magician there. And just now that he's not there, it's like there's this level of crumbling that is happening with Arsenal. And maybe that's where they are going wrong. They keep screaming, no, we need a striker. But personally, do I think Arsenal need a striker? No, they don't. I don't understand why they don't rate Kai Havertz. I feel like Kai Havertz is actually one of the best strikers in the Premier League. But no, they don't see it. Why do they not see it? I don't understand. The major problem with Arsenal is the fact that they don't have, they just have only one or two. Who are the most creative guys in their team? And now that you don't have Odegaard, they are beginning to feel the pain. And now, what is going on? Everything is going down the hill. Arsenal is just the midfield. That's the problem. You want to talk about the defense? We said earlier or before that the Arsenal defense is probably one of the best in the Premier League, just the pair of Gabriel and Saliba, right? Personally, I thought that the Liverpool defense were greater having Van Dijk and Konate, right? But obviously, a few people would argue to say, no, it's Saliba and Now, if you have a very solid defense, you have all these wingers. I mean, you have, what's it called? You have the
Saka.
young lad, but you have Bukayo Saka. Obviously, Trossard is not the best starting. Yeah, if you bring him from the bench, he's performing. But you have Martinelli, who I give extreme respect for. You have Kai Havertz, who I think, from what he was in Chelsea, is very, very different from what he's doing with Arsenal. Anybody who has left Chelsea, they've become beasts. The problem with Arsenal is the midfield. So now, only one person has gone on injured, and look at what's going on with Arsenal. So these are the issues. But they keep saying, oh, we need a striker. We need a striker. No, Arsenal do not need a striker. They have a quality striker. What you need is somebody who's going to be like Odegaard, maybe 2 or 3 of them just in case. I'll keep using Manchester City as an example, right? The only reason why Manchester City seems to be going downhill is because the 2 guys that they have gone. When, what's it called? Kevin De Bruyne was not there, you had Rodri, they were still winning games. If Rodri is not there and Kevin De Bruyne is there, they are winning games. But you having the 2 of them out, look at Manchester City now. Are you telling me that they don't have a quality? They have the best striker in the Premier League, but are they winning games? Look at the game they lost to Sporting. Do you see? So these things are. I feel like it's a no-brainer what the issue is, and if Odegaard, I mean, I would say we were told that he's now back in training, right? So
Well, he
hopefully
came on yesterday.
Oh, well, but then again, when did he come on?
Yeah, like the 90th minute.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
Alex, I just wanted to ask, because Gary brought this up, the issue with Arsenal is kind of within, and it's the discipline. And I think we saw that yesterday with that action from Mikel Arteta, actually stopping a ball that had not crossed the line. I think this, Gary, and tell me if you agree as well, but this to me just showed everything wrong with Arsenal. That was a nervous move. That was just completely, just out of control almost. Like it seemed like he doesn't even know what to do right now. And even the way he's acting is also representing how the team is acting. I don't know if that's just me, but that to me was like, there's something going on within this team, and it's maybe mental.
I feel like we're too early to hit the panic stations yet. I think they've lost 2 games now, and yes, they're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. They've still only lost 1 of their opening 4 games in the Champions League. Yes, they've played Shakhtar Donetsk and teams that they should be beating. Obviously, they beat PSG, which was a good performance. They drew with Atalanta. I think, you look at the injuries, that's going to be a problem. And sometimes teams go through these little patches. And in this day and age of, football managers' jobs being so insecure that the slightest problem goes wrong and people start talking about he should be sacked or could he be sacked. And I think the same problems would arise if a new manager came in. I think as soon as something goes wrong, you can't, throw the toys out of the pram. You've got to be patient and, look at what Arteta's done with his team. He's finished 2nd in the Premier League twice, 2 years in a row, with arguably the best team in the Premier League era. Pep Guardiola's Man City winning 4 titles in a row. Arsenal have the players, a few recruitments in the right area. Bring in a striker, bring in a midfielder, bring in another defender. Or start playing the youngsters more. Start playing Noneri. Don't start Sterling. Don't start Trossard. Look at these players. There are a few small changes that you can make. And this team is back to playing well and back to playing good football. I think Edu leaving and supposedly going to Nottingham Forest, I think they can bring someone else in. Apparently the former sporting director at Man City that left recently is looking like he might be the next one to come in. So, yeah, I think there are a few small and easy fixes to this, and I think it's way too early to be throwing the toys out of the pram.
Gary, is it bad though that I think this point of reference for Arsenal, but they finished 2nd in the league twice. And don't get me wrong, I think last season in particular, I really enjoyed watching Arsenal play football because they played really high quality football in my opinion, and they were fun to watch. But when you look at what they've won, the fact that everyone keeps saying, well, they're coming in 2nd, but is that something that we should be holding them up to, these standards?
No, it's not. It's not, because the aim is to capitalize on some of the weaknesses we are seeing of the other teams and be stronger, because you have a squad that has gone on these runs to be 2nd twice. That is what is bothering Arsenal fans that you've done it twice in a row. This third season should be when you are showing your strength in depth, so that if Martin Odegaard is not around, if it were 2 seasons ago, if it was last season, this slump would make sense and we would understand. But if it's this season, the season where we were supposed to have gotten backups in the positions or players have matured and we know how to win in ugly fashion, like we did last season and season before last, how do you explain not winning some of these games because one player is not having a good day, or there's a dependence on Saka and Saka is not able to deliver? That is what is bothering us, Alex. It's not that, but the question is, are we improving on what we saw a season ago and 2 seasons ago by this time in November? The answer is a clear no. Now, if you take the attitude and the countenance and the temperament of the manager who should be leading with calm on the front or from the front, then you panic. Because why the hell is Mikel Arteta not saying or not doing what Alex is in the studio asking us to do? Alex is asking us to calm down, but Arteta is not calm.
I mean, I'm happy to take that sporting director role if Arsenal want to contact me. I'll put my email in my Instagram bio.
So you're asking fans to be calm, but Mikel Arteta, who is our general, who is our lieutenant, who is our colonel, he's not calm. How
to be
is
fair,
he
though,
able to
it's
translate?
easy for me to say be calm because I'm sat here, I'm not in the job, I'm not under this pressure.
You know.
But I do think, there are small fixes to this. I think it's way too early to be hitting the panic stations. As I said, they've lost 2 games. They're still well in contention for the title. They're probably going to finish in the top 4. They could pick up a few good results in the next few weeks, and we forget about this.
It is not the what that we have lost 2 games. I believe it is the how.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what's bothering
a few
people.
fixes.
Yeah.
You bring in a striker and an extra midfielder in January. You start integrating into the team.
How many games do we have between now and January?
It's true. But I do think by sacking Arteta now, you're not going to. Arsenal have more of a chance of keeping Arteta and winning the title than they do if they sack him.
Fair.
I think you get rid of someone, the new manager's got to introduce his new culture, his new tactics, his new players, coaching staff. That takes time. You bring in 1 or 2 players, they're integrating into a group that's already moulded together. And that's a lot easier to improve than bringing in a whole new set of staff.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. There could still be time for Mikel Arteta. We'll jump back to Arsenal momentarily when we preview this weekend. But let's
see. I know Arsenal. This is what Arsenal does to people. I mean, you're not even an Arsenal fan. Look at what's happening to you. Imagine Arsenal fans.
Excuse me. Stop that. All right. Let's quickly wrap up the Champions League
Why
yesterday.
Why do you think I have this here?
You see?
All right. Bayern Munich beat Benfica 1-0. Bit of a lackluster game. Barcelona beat Red Star Belgrade 5-2. But it was Atletico Madrid that beat PSG in the final moments with a beautiful cross from Antoine Griezmann to Angel Correa, who ended up scoring the winner. Gary, you said for PSG it would be a good day for them to win, and worst situation, they would draw. Ended up losing at the Parc des Princes once again in the Champions League. Guys, same old song with PSG in the Champions League? And we're talking about an Atleti that is in bad form right now.
Same old song, but then also you look at Atleti. A week ago after losing to Benfica and Lille, we were saying, Diego Simeone, could this be the end? Could this be time to change the manager? 1 win, they're now 3 points outside the top 8. It's completely changed the perspective on the remaining 4 games for this team in the Champions League. And a result can change that. 2 results can change that. And, like Soloth said to me at the weekend, they're an experienced side. They know how to deal with these things. And I think that's probably been the undoing for PSG, the lack of experience at the top level in Europe. You look at the players that they've had. Yes, they've played for their country. Yes, they've played for PSG and they've played for other clubs. But it's that perhaps, playing together for a while and moulding a squad together. PSG have gone through managers like nobody's business in the last few years. And, obviously Enrique is building up a bit of time there and not quite having the success that he wants. But still, it's the changing of players. It's the bringing in these new players. And I think PSG have got a lot of problems to sort out, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they don't finish inside the top 24.
Klinton, do you want to add anything?
No, I don't want to add anything to it.
No, you're staying away from this?
Nothing.
I'm still not convinced on Atleti, I will say, even though I understand what you're saying, Alex. Though from the matches that I've been to this season at the Wanda, there's still something that's not clicking with these players. And I think that's the thing. With this new Champions League format, one win automatically brings you up like 17 spots. But they could lose their next game. They're not consistent. And they really should be doing better, I think, with these players and the players that they brought in. I mean, we know Lenormand was the biggest loss for them, but they still have the talent that they should be doing better. Like the game against PSG yesterday. PSG had more chances. They just can't finish a thing. But they probably had more chances in the end. So, I don't know. An interesting one in the end. Gary, do you have anything to add before we move along here? Champions League yesterday?
No.
Gary's like, get over it. All right. Well, Tottenham Hotspur and Galatasaray in action this evening. Europa League, anyone?
I think it'll be a fun game.
Thursday football.
Victor Osimhen, Klinton?
Yeah.
Nope. Trying to we're just, all right. Klinton doesn't want, no, we're over it. All right. Let's circle back. Let's circle right back around then. And let's put Alex Ashmore up against Gary. Because Arsenal are taking on Chelsea. They are both tied for points, but Chelsea are ahead in 4th place, Gary, based on goal differential. I mean, we're talking about a London derby, and this one has so much weight on it, especially after what happened yesterday to Arsenal. How does Mikel Arteta change the perspective of this team? How do the players get into the groove to go against a Chelsea side who is absolutely impressing this season, especially when no one thought they were going to do what they're doing right now?
One of the last teams we want to meet right now, form-wise, behavior-wise, is Chelsea Football Club right now. You know, because they know their stuff. They know exactly what they want to do, and they do it. Arsenal, last season, yes, we knew exactly what we wanted to do, and we did it. Now, does not look like we know exactly what we want to do or how to do it. So, anyway, that's why Mikel Arteta is paid whatever millions he is, and I'm sat here in Accra. You know, he's got to find some motivation for the guys. Martin Odegaard is back. He's by no means 100%, and he's not going to be as fluent as he usually is. Bukayo Saka is a known quantity, you know, and Chelsea are going to put 2 players on the lad. You can't be sure of that to stifle him. They are just going to copy-paste what Inter Milan did. I mean, they are not even going to bother reinventing the wheel. How do Arsenal respond? How should we respond? Look, we need to be more inventive. It's not that we didn't play well yesterday. You know, like we said, we had a lot of possession. Like you said, Sarah, ball went in. It was crossing from the side. It was pinged back and then rinse and repeat. We need some inventiveness. We need some imagination, some ideas, some creativity. And do we have the players? Yes, we do. As the Spanish like to do and Italians. Yes, we do. Por favor, por favor, por favor. You know, like, what do you call that in Spanish? Like the way people talk like this. That's is there a way you call it?
That's more of an Italian gesture.
Italian
but
thing.
Spanish like to use their hands too. I think it's
yes,
their mannerisms.
Yes. You know, so like, Arteta needs to find a way because players check. We do have the players. You know, attitude. We've had that swagger before. Some switch is off and it has to be turned on. We need a big game such as Inter Milan yesterday would have been a perfect because what Inter did yesterday was to send a message to Syria and Napoli that, you know what, all the talk that we are the favorites to win the season is no fluke and you better watch out for us. And this is ahead of the big match against Napoli this weekend. That's what Arsenal needed. If Arsenal want to make such a statement, I can't think of a better team apart from Liverpool, who we played a couple weeks ago. Wasn't too bad. But against Chelsea, beating Chelsea and in some style, will shut the likes of us doubters quiet. And we need to do it. Otherwise,
All right, let's get that Chelsea perspective. Alex, listen, this team is doing well. And a lot of players showing up. We obviously knew what Cole Palmer was capable of, but Mr. Nicholas Jackson really performing, kind of stepping back into that spotlight. You have Christian Nkunku, who is back from injury. Obviously, Noni Madueke is getting on the board here, and then Moises Caicedo, last week, coming out of nowhere. This is really a team who is looking like they are going in the right direction, as opposed from Arsenal.
I think so, yes, slowly. I do think when you look at how Chelsea have played this season, they've been impressive. It's been, polarising is probably the wrong word, but it's been entertaining. And I think, Gary, you won't have to worry about Chelsea defending for 90 minutes because that's not going to happen. It's going to be end-to-end. There's going to be goals in this one. I think, Chelsea still have their defensive frailties. I think Wesley Fofana and Levi Colwill have the potential to be a good defensive partnership, but there are errors in there. We've seen it with both of them. And the midfield have been really impressed with Moises Caicedo. He's had a second coming this season. He's been fantastic. He's been really energetic. He's getting involved with the attack. He's being the defensive, or the tenacious defensive midfielder that we know. And, Cole Palmer is a doubt, actually, for this weekend, so hoping he's not too seriously injured. But I think when I look at this Chelsea-Arsenal matchup, I think there's going to be goals, and obviously Arsenal want to right the wrongs. I do think one thing Arsenal have over Chelsea is they've got an extra day's rest. Chelsea, of course, playing tonight against FC Noah at home, thankfully.
But we can expect a likely rotated lineup here, as we've seen throughout many.
I doubt it will be many of the first-team players playing, to be honest. So, that does have its advantages for Chelsea, but it's still an extra day of match day and then rest and then prepare. So, I can see this going. I'm going to go 2-2.
You're going to go for a draw. Gary, how are you feeling about this one? This has to be an
Well,
Arsenal
Mikel
win if I'm
Arteta,
you.
well, Arteta said right after the game yesterday, in that very spiky interview, that the way we played tonight, this team can go to Chelsea and win. So I'm following my manager. Come on, you Gunners. Come on, Mikel. Yeah.
Perfect. So you're going for an Arsenal win there. By the way, Markinde says to you,
I don't care what
Gary,
the score is. Just win.
Just win. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Markinde says to you, Gary, come on, 2 players on Saka. What if you're playing against Messi? He doesn't seem to think that Saka is deserving of 2 players.
No. But I have an answer to that, Sarah. Have you seen the pictures of Messi? Like, he has 6 players around him all the damn time.
Oh, yeah.
So, we know
course.
the answer to that.
They're iconic images. And, there's one in the last World Cup with the Dutch players in the semi-final, and there's several of when he was playing for Barcelona. Yeah, that's classic. Yeah, there, Markinde, take that. Clinton, I haven't heard from you in a while.
It's been quiet, man.
Well, I mean, you guys sidelined me in. You guys are having your conversation, and me, I'm having my conversation in my head.
Well,
Did you guys ask me and I didn't say? That's the thing.
Okay.
You guys acted like I'm not existing.
Show, Clinton.
Thank you.
This is
Now you've welcomed me into the conversation. I can now finally speak.
It's exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, Grandad.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Klinton.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Had your afternoon nap.
Thank you. That was very good. I was just listening to you guys enjoying yourselves. Do you guys need my opinion on anything?
Chelsea or Arsenal?
Anybody? Any of them? I mean, now this one is going to be a very tricky one, and I feel like I'm going to go the Alex's way. But the only problem here is because this one is very clear. I hear it very loud and clear.
Oh God.
Mine when I give my listen, when you guys want to get my prediction.
Here we go.
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
You see, when I want to go with my own prediction, I don't give based on what they do on the pitch. I do based on what I hear, because you guys know how accurate I can be. Now, what's going to happen in this game is I see a 2 draw, 2-2. It's for like almost like 89 minutes, and I see a late goal. But I'm just trying to, I'm not hearing it very, very crisp, but it's a team.
Chelsea.
I don't think it's. That's the thing. I'm hearing something, but I don't think it's Chelsea though. But no, I think this one, when I look at the form of both teams, I'm looking at the form of these 2 teams, and honestly, I see this thing easily going. I see it easily going the Chelsea way.
Mm-hmm.
It is also a derby as well. Form goes out the window in a derby.
I feel like this can easily be a 3-2 game.
Wow, I'd love it to be high
I'd take
scoring.
the entertainment. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you're guaranteed with Chelsea is.
One thing I know for sure is there's definitely going to be a lot of goals, like you said. That one there's.
Why are you guys going to watch the game? Why are you guys going to watch the game?
I don't want to say where I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna watch it. Okay. I don't. Africans.
our phone.
Africans with their juju. I don't want to hear one story now that my passport now went to lost in one mall, or I was walking down yesterday morning and then I don't want those kind of stuff. So let me just keep it for now because I know one problem.
So you're going for
All right.
Chelsea in the end.
I think I'm going for Chelsea.
Okay. Well, let's see. There's a couple other big games in the Premier League this weekend. Arsenal and Chelsea may be the headliner. But let's talk about, between the two here. Let's go with Liverpool and Aston Villa at Anfield. Anfield's going to be popping off this weekend. Villa, obviously, losing in the Champions League. Am I losing my mind?
No, they lost.
Okay, sorry, I said that, and I lost my whole train of thought there. Villa also lost over the weekend. I'm really losing
Yes,
my
they
mind.
lost
Yes,
They
they
lost
actually
to
did.
Spurs.
They've
Yeah,
lost
after
3 in a row
Spurs beat City and then beat Villa, and there was this whole thing. It's just, could you believe it's Spurs? But 4-1 to Spurs. No one expected that. Losing to Club Brugge, yes, they were going to be that team who had all the wins besides Liverpool, and they couldn't get there. And now they are heading to Anfield, and Liverpool are top of the table, Alex. I'm sorry, but as of right now, I don't see Liverpool losing. I don't
No.
see Liverpool. It's not even about Aston Villa. Liverpool's form right now is unmatched.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it can only go one way for Liverpool. I think they've been the most impressive team in Europe this season for me in terms of how perhaps people were doubting him at the beginning. Klopp leaving, it was a new era. They had to change, get used to Arne Slot's style. But Arne Slot's come in. They've got a perfect start to their Champions League season. They've only lost the once to Forest, which when they lost, everyone was thinking, how can you lose to a team like Forest?
Bounce back.
Forest are third. It's a funny old thing, the Premier League football. So, Aston Villa, obviously Unai Emery will know that he has to turn things around. 3 losses on the bounce is nothing that, it's not, as I say, it's not panic stations for Villa yet. But at Anfield, with that 12th man, Liverpool on song, I can't see anything other than a Liverpool win either. So 3-1 Liverpool.
Oh, 3-1. Clinton, your boy John Duran?
Honestly, I don't see Aston Villa doing anything at this point. Because the truth is, I don't think any team is greater than Liverpool at this point. I mean, I'm not just talking about even the Premier League. When we go champions, right now we are looking at Barcelona, being that team that can easily say they would match Liverpool. Any team Liverpool faces in the Premier League, they are very capable of taking them down. Now, this particular game, I'm going with Alex 3-1 as well.
Oof.
Is it John Duran that's going to score for Aston Villa?
If he comes on, definitely, yeah.
Gary, what are you thinking about this one? You agree with the boys?
Oh yeah, Liverpool are now. I like to call them not Liverpool. I call them the Rampant Reds.
The Rampant Reds, the new city.
The Rampant Reds. Yeah, I mean they've scored what? At least twice in their last 6 home games, and I mean, I don't think Villa have a chance. Yeah, too good.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as well. It's unbelievable that we are all so confident in Liverpool, especially playing a team like Aston Villa, only in 5th place. But with the way Villa have looked of late, this one's all Liverpool for us. So let's head over to Brighton taking on Manchester City. And this one could get a little techie. Gary, I'll start with you on this one. City coming off 3 back-to-back losses. So you would think eventually this would have to turn around for Mr. Guardiola and the Sky Blues.
Yeah.
But Brighton, a team that has proven to be much trickier this season and also not going to be easy, especially at home.
Like I said yesterday, Bernardo Silva says they are in a dark place. Even though
Gary's
Pep
like,
Guardiola
talk to me about a dark
disagrees.
place.
I'm like, go figure. Yeah, right. But I mean, for the first time in a very long time, City have lost 3 consecutive games in a row, and for a team like that, fans will say this is not normal. But Pep will take the rather philosophical view and say, I mean, we couldn't have gone on such a run forever, so he'll just take it in a stride. Right now, it's a tough challenge. Brighton are a very stubborn team, as we have seen in the league. But I feel like City will still have enough to give them problems. Unfortunately, I won't put my neck out to say City are going to win because we don't know which Manchester City will show up, but we know what kind of Brighton will show up. That said, because of my Arsenal instincts and because I want to be purely professional as well, I'll just say it will end 2-2. 2-2.
Clinton?
And it's possible, 2-2.
Do you not agree with that, that noise?
I mean, do you want me to give you my score prediction or you want me to speak about the game?
Give me both.
Both?
I mean, firstly, I'll give you my score prediction. I think this is going to be a 1-1. It's a draw for me. And number two, I feel like any team would beat Manchester City at this point. The fact is, I've said it, just the same way we've analysed Arsenal. The engine rooms are not there. I know you have the likes of Kovacic and these other young guys, but they don't have the experience to take on other tactical teams like Brighton. Brighton, they are the side that, like Gary said, we know what to expect from them, and they would always, try to get this really cheeky goals. Trying to remember the guy that's played for Manchester United before, and he still plays the Brighton.
Danny Welbeck?
Yeah, Welbeck. He's a thief, and any slight opportunity he would always take it. I don't think at this point Manchester City have what it takes to beat a team that is as developed and tactical, as Brighton. I've told you guys before here that Brighton, they're almost like so they are when they say they do money laundry, Brighton is like that player laundering team, where they just build up these guys, they make them become beasts, and that's what they are doing currently in this season. Fact is, so far you don't have Kevin De Bruyne, you don't have Rodri. Manchester City is empty, and anybody will go. If you just play very good football, if you're able to make the passes, and Brighton, they are capable of doing this. We've seen them, when it comes to the ball distribution, when it comes to the whole. The thing about Brighton is if they want to play good football, they play good football. When they want to be rubbish, they are totally rubbish. Now, a rubbish versus an unequipped Manchester City might end up giving you a draw. But I don't think that this game, Brighton will be coming out to say they want to play less football. And if they are facing a team that's almost as vulnerable as Manchester City now, fact is, it's either it's going to be a draw or Brighton is going to be winning this game. This is what I think about this one. Very easy for me.
Wow, Alex? Agree, disagree? Super sub Brighton.
No, I think Man City will win this one. I think Brighton have been impressed with them this season. I think the only thing that lets them down is their home form. 5 games, they've only won 2 of those. They threw away that lead against Wolves.
Oh.
Little things that, as a
Gary's
squad...
praying for a loss right now for City.
As a squad, I'm really impressed with Brighton. The players they've got an unbelievable amount of talent, and Fabian Hutzler is doing a fantastic job there. But it's tough, the Premier League. They've got plenty of tougher games to come, and it doesn't really get much tougher than Man City. But I think Man City, especially after this run of 3 games, 3 defeats, it does help that it's in 3 different competitions. Come back to the Premier League, fresh start. Europe's another thing. You can forget about that for another couple of weeks. So I think Guardiola will know what's needed to do to turn this around. And I can see City getting the win, but it'll be a hard one. So I'm going to say 2-1 City.
2-1 City. I think I'm also going to back City on this one just because I think they're going to have to turn it around at some point. This team still has some of the best players in the world. They still have Pep Guardiola at the helm. I think it's time for City to turn it around.
You guys really tend to underestimate the power of the mental side.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry, what was that?
I just had a lapse.
Oh, right.
There was too many things happening. Sorry.
Oh, no. So what I was going to say is I think you guys tend to underestimate the power of the mental aspect of teams who are expected to be very good, and all of a sudden they are going downhill, which is exactly what's going on with Arsenal. At some point, it was happening with Chelsea last season. The moment you start having these losses that people would expect you to normally win, it starts affecting the players where they go into the next games feeling less confident in their abilities to win games. Now, with Manchester City, with the couple of setbacks that they've been having, trust me, they're going to go into this game, obviously with the mindset of I want to win. But most times, I'm sure that they would remember, the fact that, okay, we don't have the people who make this thing happen for us. And, I feel like the opposition teams, if they are very good, they will take advantage of that mental state that they will find themselves in. And that's the reason why I said, normally, I would say Manchester would have easily won this game. But we've also seen Brighton face Manchester City, and Brighton is not the easiest team to play.
No.
Like they are the team that you score them one, they'll probably bounce back and even top you up too. So no, I just feel like with what's been going on with Manchester City, is going to have some kind of toll in their mental side. And I don't know, I'm seeing Pep Guardiola still getting angry on the sideline, on whichever day, Saturday or Sunday, whichever day they are playing the game. I'm seeing it spiritually, and my man is literally angry, and he's just walking off into the panel. And it's going to be a really tricky one.
I see
Go, Klinton.
the mental side of things that you're saying, but also when you've got a side that's so successful like City, they've won the Champions League, they've won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. You learn how to come back from setbacks. Yes, they don't lose often, but because they are so successful and they've got a squad of such an experienced squad of players with experience from different leagues, from La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Premier League. They've played these teams. They've played in Europe. They're the best players in the world. So I think when you go into a dip of form like this, especially with a manager like Guardiola, he'll know how to turn things around. So I can see what you're saying, especially with Arsenal, who perhaps haven't been in that winning position for so long.
It's not happening for Guardiola. Fam, we saw Sporting. It was Manchester City that first scored the goal, right? At that point, what do you think they would have thought about?
Do we have a bet?
Fam, how much?
Man
See,
City
Someone
price.
put the camera
I will
on
get
this.
you. I will
Put the
take your
camera
laptop.
on
Let me
this.
see. Let me see. Fact
need
is,
the
Put the camera.
it was. Listen. It was.
Make your bet.
No, listen. It was right in front of us.
Come on, man.
It was right in front of us. We saw Manchester City scored a goal. Sporting came back, and at some point, Sporting added another one. We're all thinking, okay, yeah, Manchester City, they are going to. Why would Haaland miss a penalty? Yes, everybody misses penalty, but how many times have Haaland missed a penalty in the Premier League or in very important games like that? No, listen to me, right? This Manchester City is as good as Arsenal right now, yeah?
10 quid, Man City beats Brighton, and I'll give you 10 quid if Brighton win.
I was 10. In fact, we cannot be live on air doing 10 quid. Let's do 1,000.
No, I'm not doing 1,000.
Do 10 quid and let's call it a day.
No, it's too.
Okay, this is what I'm putting on it. Guys,
Gary,
this is what I'm putting on it.
what is that?
Is that 20 pounds? Oh, 5
£5.
pounds. Oh,
Is that it?
Right.
You need to update your bank.
Sorry,
Gary.
I know you're in Ghana. Is that note real?
It is. It's just got the Queen's face on it, which is now.
Fam, you don't know, in Nigeria, we have king and queen in one note. You think we are not capable of this kind of...
All right, guys. Well, let's see. I wish you would have bet because we keep seeing that you guys almost are going to bet, and then it never happens. I would have loved to see it. I guess we're doing it just for bragging rights. All right, let's move along. Clinton, you have something excited to speak about.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, we have... What am I supposed to speak about?
Your interview?
No, I was just joking.
Oh.
Now, but so, guys, we have the Nigerian Super Eagles former goalkeeper, or would I say she's still part of the team. We had a conversation with him earlier today, and I would love to show you guys what we spoke about. So, hope you enjoy it. Let's imagine that your contract expires, because I know you've just come political again. Let's say everything is done, and and then you have the opportunity to go somewhere in the Premier League. Which team is it going to be in the Premier League?
I think it's for me in the Premier League. It's Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
Have you always been a Chelsea fan?
I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I always kind of supported Chelsea. I wouldn't say that Chelsea is my team because my teams are in Germany, but in England, Chelsea is my team. Yeah.
What league would you consider the toughest league in Europe as we speak?
Yeah, like I said before in the beginning, the Italian teams are very strong, and you can see it in the Champions League. You can see it in the Europa League, And for me, it's the Premier League and the Serie A.
Now let's come to Nigerian football. Right now, you're not the first choice goalkeeper, for Nigeria. What are you doing to come back to take that spot again?
First of all, I have to perform. I have to perform on my on club side, on club level, to get the call up, and I'm very happy to got caught up again for the upcoming games, and then I have to also perform in trainings with the Super Eagles, and convince or give the coaches reason and the staff reasons why they maybe have to think about giving me a chance again. But I also know the story, and I also know how great Stanley and Mobali did in the AFCON for our country. So I'm patiently waiting and doing my best, and when the time is there, I'll be ready.
Currently, who's your favorite player in the Super Eagles?
Lukman is at the moment, no, not just at the moment, and I think in the last 12, 15 months shining, and he's it's unbelievable what he's doing week in, week out, not just for Atalanta, but also for Nigeria.
Do you think he deserves the African Player of the Year?
Yes. No
Which
doubt.
other Nigerian player do you think deserves it also?
As we have lots of talents in Nigeria and lots of great players, I could name a lot of names here, but Boniface also had a great season and incredible player. It's for me it's special also to train and share the training pitch with him, because it's as me, I played in Bayer Leverkusen's academy for 7 years, so it's even more special. But he's so talented. It's unbelievable also what he's doing week in, week out. But so many great players in Nigeria. One thing for sure, a Nigerian have to win the trophy.
Yep. Maduka Okoye, Klinton Cod.
Yeah, that's Maduka Okoye. It was a very brilliant interview. It was about, say, just close to 20 minutes. Please, guys, make sure you're going on our YouTube channel to watch the full video. It was very incisive. There's a lot of information he did share regarding him as a player for Udinese in Italy, and then obviously with the Super Eagles as well. Very interesting one, very brilliant one. So please make sure you are checking on our YouTube channel on SportyTV, and let us know, Chelsea fans, if he would
Klinton,
be the guy.
I know we don't have a lot of time. Klinton, quick one.
Yeah.
Do you think he will get to the #1 spot in the Super Eagles? He will regain it anytime soon? Quick one.
Wow.
Yes or no?
What a
Yes or
question,
no?
man.
On the spot.
I mean, I'm praying for him. In the future, he might. With Stanley Wabali now is on a beast mood. He's like literally crazy. And I'm scared that he's probably going to be the guy that's going to be on that #1 spot for a very long time. But you never know. You know, he might really decide to work hard and, come back to that form that he has with his club. Because the truth is, Maduka Okoye is actually a very good goalkeeper when it comes to club level. But when it comes to the Super Eagles, just like every other player that don't perform for their country, maybe that is where he is, and maybe he might decide to work hard and then come back to get that spot again. Who knows? Let's see.
All right, guys. Well, that is it for us today. Make sure, like Klinton said, check out our YouTube channel for the full interview. Maduka Okoye will be taking on fellow Nigerian teammate Ademola Lookman this weekend as Udinese take on Atalanta. Enjoy all the football this weekend, guys. There's so much to watch. We will be back. Actually, we will be back.
We'll definitely be back. Just leave it.
Guys,
We'll be back.
we will be back. And until then, enjoy the football.
Because we don't know where we'll be back. Go. Boo.